Well, it's slow because I'm out there, but it's
Move on, 76-73 to play Monarch Christian tomorrow afternoon at 2 o'clock p.m.
I don't think any of us up here liked our execution, but it was a tough game. It was a great high school game. Two teams. It was very physical, more physical than most high school games we play in. You got to give them credit for the way they played. They were extremely tough, hard to guard off the dribble, made some shots. So they made some big shots when they had to. Luckily, we did the same thing on the other end. Quinn made some big free throws. I know he missed that one. He was upset, but he was 11 for 12. And you can't ask for more than that from the line. And these other guys played extremely well for us, too.
Quinn, give me your thoughts on the game tonight.
It was bad. It was a war on Dwyer. It was a great team, and they didn't want to lose. So we both played our hearts out, and fortunately we came up with the win, and we're just getting focused for tomorrow.
Coach, are you excited that you're going to be renewing this rivalry with Monarch Christian? And I guess are you just happy that you got out of here alive, despite Dwyer, of course, giving it everything they had?
Yeah, I mean, it was a good win for us, and then we're always excited to play a great team like Montrose. We have played them numerous times in the past, and we played them earlier this year in January. It was a double overtime game, and we were disappointed. We were holding the ball late in the game. There wasn't a shot clock. We had a 2-point lead. Jordan Adams got fouled down here, and he had made about 30 in a row up to that point. He's our leading free throw shooter. I'm not trying to jinx him. I don't know if he shot any tonight, but did you shoot a free throw? 3 for 4. He's a 90% free throw shooter. He missed the front end of a 1-and-1 with about 17 seconds left. They came down and scored, put it into overtime, and then actually in the second overtime, they scored again late. I mean, the first overtime they scored late to tie it again. So we felt like we had the game won a couple times, but we didn't close the deal. So you got to give Montrose credit for winning that game. So we're excited to play tomorrow. We're excited to be in the championship game. I think we'll play better. I know that we're going to have to play better to win. They're very well coached, very, very good, big, physical team. Execute extremely well on offensive end, so we're going to have to play better defensively. We broke down some tonight. We got screened off and didn't switch in certain situations we were supposed to. We didn't play as well as we'd like tonight, but you got to give these guys credit for playing as hard as they did and for wanting to win the game. I asked them in the first quarter, do you want to win the game? And we came out a little sluggish, and because I thought they did. The other team looked like they wanted to win more than we did, and I just felt like I needed to challenge these guys. And I asked them, "You want to win the game?" And they responded. And I'm still a little worried. Up till we were down 7 at the TV timeout in the second quarter, and that was a crucial 3 or 4 minutes for us, either to get back in and whittle away at that lead, or to be down double digits. And we ended up being down 3.5. And so I felt good at halftime because I felt like we did not play well, and we were still only 3 down. So. And then the second half was a very exciting game.
Coach, what were you thinking when those last 2 shots went up?
Please don't go in, but please don't call a foul, because I don't criticize officials, but it was very physical, and they were playing very aggressive, and we turned it over a couple times in the backcourt. I thought it looked like we were fouled, but maybe I'm wrong. I was on the other end of the court, so I'll give the referees credit. I'm not going to criticize anybody, but we got to be stronger with the ball because they were coming hard. And then they got the last possession. I was worried because the score wasn't correct. You never know what's going to happen in a melee type situation. It was kind of wild, and shot goes up and it gets knocked out. Luckily, there was no fouls called, which I didn't think there were fouls on the play, but you never know in that situation, and because it's so scattered, and we're scrambling around, they're scrambling trying to get the ball, and they got 2 shots off at it. They weren't great shots, but luckily they didn't go in and we won the game.
Coach, had you seen anything like that full court scramble that they used to claw back into the game?
Yeah, we did. Part of it, we had a 5-week break since we played last. We didn't practice for 17 days, so we're trying to run what we call a fly play, which is a simple play to get it in bounds with 2 screens. We couldn't get in it. Our guys weren't going to the right spots. It's probably my fault because I totally forgot to work on it the last 7 days in practice. So when we get out there and I'm on flying, our guys are going to the wrong spots. So we're not where we're supposed to be, and we just panicked a little bit. And they were very aggressive. Like Quinn said, they wanted to win the game. They were trying to win the game, and they were putting it all out there, and they were being very aggressive. And We weren't executing like we should have, but thank goodness we made most of our free throws, with the exception of one, and we won the ball game.
Coach Quinn made the last 7 points. Talk about his ability just to get to the line, how important that was.
Yeah, well, we want him, the play is set for him to get the ball. We're screening for him, and then our two best free throw shooters are Jordan and Quinn, so the play is set up to where we set these two screens, and then they're the two guys that the ball's supposed to go to. We want them to be getting the ball, them to be strong with the ball, them, when they get it, to take it and hold it and get fouled. And it's easier said than done, but our guys did a good job of getting the ball to Quinn because they know how well he steps the line and makes free throws. They know he's a big-time guy and wants to go to the line. He wants the ball and wants to make the free throws to win the game. So we did a good job of getting it to him. We did have a couple turnovers, like I mentioned, trying to do it, but Quinn always steps up. He's done it all year. He's done it his whole career in high school. So that's just him. That's the way he is.
Number two, you slammed the ball down after the game was over, and you said a championship. What did you mean by that?
You know, we want to end the year with a championship. And, you know, it was a good game. And if we lose, you know, we go home, season's over, my high school career is over. So, you know, there's no better way to end your season and your high school career with a championship. And especially me being in my hometown and, you know, playing against Oak Hill rival in Montrose. You know, I know all three of us grew up watching a rivalry. So, you know, there's no better way to end the season with a game on ESPN against Monarch Christian.
Quinn, talk about the roller coaster ride that for you personally in the past 6 months. This summer you're out in Venice Beach at the Elite 24, the Midnight Run. You're playing with Brandon Jennings. You're playing with DeMar DeRozan. You're playing with those guys. Day of the game, you hurt your knee. You're going away from home. You go to a boarding school experience. Just talk about the rehab, and now, like you mentioned, you're back at home. You have an opportunity to play in this championship game. Just talk about the things that you've been through this year and what has enabled you to kind of fight through that stuff and get back to the form of the player that you were this summer.
The biggest thing was, I think, the help of my brothers at Oak Hill. I mean, you know, I went up to Oak Hill 2 weeks late. You know, I had to catch up with my work, and, you know, my brothers, my teammates helped me. You know, even if it was carrying my plate for me when at the lunch table, or, you know, just rebounding for me after practice. Just they really pushed me. You know, some days I didn't want to get up and do my rehab. You know, I know for a fact these two especially, you know, they got on me because they needed me. So, you know, when I got back to 100%, I just lived in the gym because, you know, I missed 2 months, and, you know, 2 months I wasn't playing, and, you know, I was thinking about my opponent getting better. So, you know, that's one thing. The great thing about Oak Hill is, you know, there's no distractions, you know, no movies or no parties or nothing. You know, you live in that gym. And I know for a fact that I want to be where I am today and, you know, in this position without the help of my teammates, because they really pushed me and got me where I am today. So I really got through it with them.
Coach, can you just follow up on, in terms of, when you have a player of his caliber that comes in as a senior, some guys may not respond as well as he did. Just talk about his work ethic and his mental makeup and what enabled him to be able to be as successful as he was this year.
Yeah, first thing is, you don't want to know what I thought when I saw him get hurt with 11 seconds to go in that game, which is it's a great all-star game, but it's a glorified pickup game. I about died when I saw him go down. And I could tell the way he landed, they kept showing in slow motion, and so I could tell it was a fairly serious injury. I was just hoping it wasn't an ACL, which is what everybody diagnosed it as at first, and then when they went in to look at it, it ended up being his meniscus. So that saved us our season, because he would have been out probably 6 months. But Quinn, he did rehab. He did a great job rehabbing. You know, I, as his coach, wanted to get him back probably too quick. And every day I'd walk in a queue, you ready to go day? Because I was just trying to get him out on the practice floor whenever he felt comfortable. But I didn't want to rush it, but I also knew how bad the team needed him. But I also know what he's down inside, how bad he wants to be out there with his, like he said, his teammates, his brothers. And, you know, Oak Hill's a big fraternity. I mean, we have some alumni here today watching us. They're all close. These guys know all the players that have played at Oak Hill before them, and they're all close and tight, and it's a tradition there. So these guys are, you know, out there representing them too. But a guy like Quinn is a great ambassador for us, and his work ethic. I used to get on him early in the year. I knew he was hurt, and he was worried about re-injuring it, and I would be too. I mean, there was a lot of anxiety there, and it was tough. And when he finally went down the floor a couple of times, about probably the second or third day he practiced with us, we were a totally different team. We were standing up with his coaches going, holy smokes, we're going to be all right. You know, and we were worried for a while. We don't really have a backup point guard. I mean, we counted him so much. If he went down, we'd be a totally different team. And once he got out there and started practicing, we realized we were going to have a good team. We were going to be okay as long as we kept him healthy. And he worked hard to get back to where he was. It probably took him only full strength this summer. It took him probably 4 months really to feel 100% mentally, physically ready to go, full out. And even at half, when he was 50%, he was better than anybody we had, you know, running our team. So, and we just had a lapse earlier in the middle of the year where we lost a couple of games. We came back off of our Christmas break where we just weren't playing well. Hadn't practiced in a couple of weeks. But then he started playing. Jordan Adams really came on. Damien, these guys are juniors. A.J. Hammonds is a junior. So we're really, I just got to get Quinn replaced. We're really, you know, looking forward to the future too at Oak Hill.
Coach, you know, going back to that Montrose type thing, I heard from one of the reporters that in that game you played, in the double overtime game, that Michael Carrera, I think, had like 23 and 10 in that game.
He did.
And you'll go up against like Tyrone Johnson and Justin Anderson. Quinn, also this question as well for you, and for all of you as well. Do you think this matchup is like, you know, be like watching, in this case, like a Duke, North Carolina kind of game, or like in this case, like, you know, like Big East meets ACC? Like, do you think that could be that kind of a matchup, like future college kids meeting future college kids kind of thing?
Well, there's probably 10 Division I players in the starting lineup on the floor, so it's a big-time high school game with the talent that'll be out there. And I mean, it's a rivalry, but it's not. I respect Coach Vedder. I think he respects me. We have a good friendship. We respect each other's program, what we represent, how our players play, how our teams play. It's a big game for both of us, and you know, win or lose, we're excited to be in the game. We're playing to win that thing, and I think if we play well, I think we're the better team. But we'll find out. You know, that game that we played back in January was a great game. It was a little sloppy too, to be honest. But those kind of games get like that. I don't know how the game's going to go tomorrow. We're just going to have to figure it out, get out there and weed our way through the first quarter and get our feet set on the floor and try to play our game.
Coach Smith, following up on what you just said about the January game, how is your guys' change in personnel going to help you in this game? Or what advantage do you guys have now that you didn't have then?
You know, and we were deeper then. You know, we lost a couple of guys about 6 weeks ago. Everybody probably knows it. One was a starter, one was our sixth man who had been hurt, but he was an inside player for us, gave us a lot more depth. But we seem to be playing better. Nothing against those guys. I think we're playing better right now. The guys know their roles. We're not, even though we're not as deep, as long as we don't get in foul trouble, we're down to one game now. So I hope, you know, I don't foresee that being a problem. But we play 6 or 7 guys, and that's enough in a 32-minute high school game to get it done. If it's a 40-minute college game, that'd be a little difficult. But I think in a game like we're going to play tomorrow, it'll be fine. I mean, Kentucky's playing in the Final Four with 6 players basically, and we're going at it with 6 or 7 guys. So I feel good about our chances tomorrow as long as we play well.
Coach E.J. only had 3 points, but he had 13 rebounds and kind of ended up with the ball.
Yeah.
Had key moment in the game.
He played great. AJ, we didn't give him that many touches, but he doesn't complain, and Daniel Gomes doesn't complain. They're kind of the guys that do the dirty work. They'll rebound, they'll block shots, and if they get touches, fine. If they don't complain, and they don't say a word. And they know we're a perimeter-oriented team. They know we've got 4 or 5 guys that can really. These 3 guys here plus Keith Hornsby can really play. Keith probably should be sitting up here with us tonight. He made a couple big shots, and I think he had 15 points. But AJ ends up with the ball in his hands. I thought he got hammered. Once again, I'm not going to talk about a finish, but I thought he got hammered with about that one possession late in the game when he rebounded and they took the ball from him. But I thought he played great as well as Keith Hornsby.
Questions for Quinn, going back to January. He said you guys are coming off a break. So obviously you're in a good position. You want to end the season tomorrow with the W. But how much sweeter is it that you get an advantage that first loss to UFCA and just that weekend, that Middleton going into UFCA and now you get a chance to avenge another loss?
It just gives us a lot more motivation. I mean, you know, we really felt that we should have won that game. Marshall was the first time, and you know, they wanted it more. I can honestly say they wanted it more that day. So I know for a fact that they don't want it more than that. I mean, I know my guys. We've been talking about this tournament for a long time. You know, we were off for a long time for break, and you know, we were texting each other like, "Yo, stay in the gym. Gotta win this tournament." And when I went to the McDonald's tournament, I mean the McDonald's game, the whole event. They would keep me updated on practicing, and I make sure they was going hard. And you know, we really want to win the tournament. And even if boys and girls would have won, you know, we would still come out with the same fire. It doesn't matter who we play against. So just to make it Montrose, it's going to add more fuel to the fire because I know we want to redeem ourselves.
I know how I mentioned about that there will be 10 players that are D1 prospects. So this is for the three of you, for Jordan, Damien, and Quinn. Your job is pretty much Tyrone Johnson tomorrow. Your job is, I believe, Justin Anderson, and your job, I think, is actually who's.
You might need to coach him tomorrow.
No, I probably should. What are your thoughts about, I guess, going up against these guys? I mean, are you guys really excited to be? And I know that you've had, like, you know, games with these guys, but for a national championship, what does that feel like for the national championship? Is it like even better than when you've played them in regular season games?
We didn't like the feel of the last time we played when we lost. After the game, they was acting a little crazy about because they won. They beat a big school, and I would too. But during this game tomorrow, we're gonna come out hard, and my guys, we're gonna play.
I think they know, when teams beat us, they realize, because they see the celebration. I mean, they realize what it means for a team to beat us. And it took a little while, I think, these guys to realize it. When they saw our first loss, and you see teams celebrate and storm the court, and whether they're ranked higher than you, or they're supposed to be better than you, or whatever it is, it still means something to beat Oak Hill. I think these guys understand that. And so they saw the other team celebrate when we lost that night, and I told them to remember that. So
Do they all have a good relationship with those kids at Montrose as well?
I'm sure that, yeah, sure.
Do you have a good relationship?
I've been playing against Tyrone since I was 10 years old. You know, Justin Anderson won 2 gold medals with me. So I mean, Tyler Hubbard, I played 8-9 with him. I mean, I know all those guys, and you know, we're friends. We're great friends off the court, but on the court, you know, we're enemies, and you know, they know that, and we know that. So that makes the game even better. And that was probably the worst loss I've experienced, losing to them. You know, just because they're from home, and you know, I came back home spring break. That's all I'm hearing, and Montrose. So, you know, tomorrow I know these two, they're gonna be ready. The rest of the crew's gonna be ready. So I'm excited.